Tyler Smith has been one of the more dominant guards in the league this season, and playing against the Eagles last Sunday proved that he is headed to the Pro Bowl and could be a future All Pro for years to come. But when you're taking a look at this play here, Dak Prescott is going to be running the quarterback sneak, and with their defensive line, they like to shade left and they like to shade right, shooting in between A and B gaps and trying to disrupt to get to the quarterback. So on this play, it's going to be a quarterback sneak, but seeing what Tyler Smith was able to do to number 93 Williams at the offensive line, it's great to be able to see the physicality, being able to finish a play, and just setting that tone because we all know that this is the NFC East, and being able to establish the line of scrimmage early on is how you can be able to take that next step. So number 93 is going to be going into that A gap, and everybody else is going to be shooting in between the A and the B gap to be able to stop this quarterback sneak. Their linebackers, they're going to be trying to shoot in between there as well, but just seeing the power from Tyler Smith, controlling him at the line of scrimmage and allowing Dak Prescott to get those 2 or 3 yards to be able to get that first down. This is how you can be able to change the momentum in games. So we'll run this play. As you can see, he's engaged in contact first. Usually on a defensive line, they like to try to engage first so they can gain leverage to shoot that A gap. But just seeing Tyler Smith, once he gets those vice grips on you and he's able to drive his legs, he is picking this guy up and he is about to slam him on the ground. And this is exactly what you need, Cowboys Nation. Having a guy that's physical like this to be able to put you in the dirt, knock a hole in the ground just like that. You love to see that type of energy from this type of player. If he can continue to keep doing things like this is how you get a better Zach Martin. This is how you get a better Tyron Smith. All of those guys on the offensive line. We know that the Eagles defensive line, they are very, very aggressive. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, a lot of those guys in the interior. So doing this in the beginning of the game and letting those defensive linemen know that it is not going to be easy for you guys throughout the game. This is the type of green light that get us to where we need to be. One thing about Mike McCarthy's offense, they like to get these wide receivers on the move and getting these guys going in space. So with CeeDee Lamb, he's going to be motioning to the right side and whipping to the left side to be a decoy on this play. And when you see guys like Rico Dowdle, they're going to be faking the run to him, but he's going to dish out to the flats and get the pass from Dak Prescott. But seeing how clean this pocket is from the offensive line and with the Eagles defensive line, they are very, very aggressive players. But having guys like Zach Martin and Tyler Smith in the interior, it just makes Dak Prescott that much more comfortable. So we'll run this play. CeeDee Lamb, he's in motion. He's whipping around. And with Tyler Smith, he strikes him at the line of scrimmage. He's trying to get his balance together. Jalen Carter is a very, very strong defensive tackle, but Tyler Smith is strong as well. But just being able to get your arms inside of his pec, strike him, you can tell by Jalen Carter's arm, he's swinging it around because Tyler Smith is inside him. And once he gets those vice grips on you, he's going to control you at the line of scrimmage and wash you out the play. But seeing the pocket that Dak Prescott has, he has time to be able to hit guys like Rico Dowdle. But having Tyler Smith being able to control Jalen Carter, you love to see things like this. And if we can continue to keep having Dak Prescott with a clean pocket like that, and he can be able to get through all his progressions, this is how you can be able to bring out a better Dak Prescott, better wide receivers, better Jake Ferguson. Because whenever Dak Prescott can be able to have time and dissect these defenses, this is how this whole offensive playbook can be able to open up. Here's a rep right here where he was going up against Jordan Davis. We seen a play against Williams, number 93, and Jalen Carter. He was whipping on all three of those guys throughout this game. And I actually attended this game, and just seeing him in person, what he was able to do, play in and play out and finishing these plays, it was just beautiful to see. Tony Pollard's going to be getting the ball. He's going to go in between the line and he's going to run like a stick route. And with Dak Prescott, he's going to have time, so he's going to be able to roll out to the left. But seeing what the offensive line was able to do, guys like Tyron Smith, he had himself a very, very good game. You see guys like Tyler Smith, he's going to be going up against Jordan Davis. It's harder to be able to stop a guy like Jalen Carter. Jordan Davis doesn't really have the feet and athleticism like Tyler Smith does. He's the type of guy that just plays off of power and he tries to get leverage. You can be able to slow this guy down, and this is exactly what Tyler Smith did on this play. So we'll go ahead and run it. As you can see, he gets his hands on him. And it's easier for Tyler Smith to get his hands inside against a guy like Jordan Davis because he's so slow off the ball. And when you got a guy like Tyler Smith who is athletic and powerful as well, who's playing with good technique, this is how you can be able to bench press him at the line of scrimmage. And this is exactly what he was doing. Dak Prescott was able to roll out to the left side, and it buys him time to be able to Tony Pollard and go out there and have Tony Pollard go out there and get himself a solid game. And things like that is always good to see. You know, you're going to be going up against guys like Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Williams, but seeing Tyler Smith being able to go head up against these guys, it really didn't matter who it was. It's always great to see things like this. A lot of people coming out last year, they didn't believe in guys like Tyler Smith. They had questions about the technique things. This is how you can go out there, have that Hulk type of physicality, and prove these doubters wrong. So on this final play here, we know that Tyler Smith is not the perfect prospect. We know that there's things that he needs to work on. Sometimes it could be the technique things. The penalties is going to be very important. But when you see in this play, everybody on the offensive line, they're going to be assigned their guy. CeeDee Lamb is going to be running a drag route. And as far as their linebacker, he's going to be running a bluff blitz. But just seeing Tyler Smith, how he was placing his arms is not good to be able to do certain things like that on certain players. Having a good posture, knowing where to place your hands, it is extremely important, especially when we're going to get down to these playoff games. So we'll run this play. He gets off the ball and he places his hands on the outside. That was one of the first mistakes that he made. You don't want to do things like that. Usually he doesn't, but when you have your hands on the outside like that, this is how you can be prone to penalties. So you want to make sure you keep your hands in the interior because they're wrestling each other right now, and being able to hold them like that, I don't think that this play was a penalty. We still were able to make a play with CeeDee Lamb, but just having proper hand placement is very important because Jalen Carter is one of those guys that like to drive to the ball. So making sure that you can be able to have leverage and not bear hugging him like that, you want to make sure you can be able to clean things like that up. But seeing CeeDee Lamb going out there, being able to make a play, that's always good. But one thing about a guy like Tyler Smith, he's always willing to learn, and it's not going to be perfect with this guy, but just seeing what he's doing play in and play out on a consistent basis, being able to dominate the line of scrimmage, whether if it's the run game or the pass game, learning from guys like Zach Martin is going to be very important. And if this team is going to take that next step in the playoffs, whatever team we're playing when we're lining up against these guys, we're going to have to get that offensive line right. It's going to be huge. And I'm excited to see how it all plays out. But with this player, he's going to have to just lock in and focus. But I'm excited to see this player because running the all 22, just seeing this guy just beating up on everybody on their defensive line in the interior is always great to see. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on 5 live streams and unique breakdowns. All right, Cowboys Nation, talk to y'all soon. Gone.